The way they suffered, it was incredible. In fact, I'd say 4 or 5 looked very, very solid and normal, and 4 or 5 looked like they'd been through hell, but they were all through the same hell. And I looked at them, I said, I can't imagine what you've gone through, but we're going to do what we have to do. But I asked them a question. One was wearing 59, and I said, what does 59 represent? That's how many are left. I said, all right, well, get them out. I said, are they all living? No, 24 are living. I said, 24? He said, yeah, 24, only 24. So 24 out of the 59 are living, and they knew because they had just gotten out. And what are the others? The others are all dead. But I spoke to the parents of the others, and as much as you want your beautiful boy out, they want their beautiful boy, and for the most part, as you know, boys, young boys, for the most part, but they want him out so badly. I said, is he okay? No, he's dead. But they want him out so badly, almost as much as if he were alive. It was an amazingly sad thing to see, the level of love for the children. And they didn't even view them as dead. They needed the body of their son, and they knew they were dead. But think of that, out of 59, you had 24 that were living, and now I understand it's not even that number. And young people don't die. They're very resilient. You know, you don't have young people dying. Young people are killed. Old people die. They can't take it. They couldn't breathe in some cases. They had them in a pipe, closed at both ends. If you're claustrophobic, it's a big problem. And many people are claustrophobic. But young people live, old people die, but these were young people that were dying, so you know what took place. As we bow our heads this beautiful day in the Rose Garden on the National Day of Prayer, we once again trust our lives to our liberties and our happiness to the hands of the Creator who gave them to us and who loves us. Who loves us? Think of it, where you are now, and so beautiful. But it's so nice because here you are in this unbelievable setting. I think no setting like it in the world. When you add up the importance, I take people into the Oval Office, and the biggest people, foreign leaders, princes, kings, queens, and presidents, and prime ministers, and a couple of dictators, I guess. They don't say that. They say, no, I'm a prime minister or I'm a president. And I say, no, you're a dictator, but that's okay. But I bring them into the Oval Office, and they just want to look. They can't believe it. It's the most important. And they all have beautiful offices. They are, in some cases, the wealthiest people in the world, in some cases, the most powerful people in the world. But they go into the Oval Office, and here you are right outside the Oval Office. And in one way, you're so lucky, but in another way, you're all fighting for people that you know are not so fortunate right now because of people like your beautiful son, people that are being really tortured because the level of anger and meanness thrown off by the human being, you know, they say the lions and the tigers aren't nearly as vicious as a human because they only kill for food. They kill for food. They don't kill. They kill for food. The human being kills for sport. They try and destroy people, killing or otherwise, for sport. And we've got some bad ones out there, really bad ones. We have some bad ones here. We have some bad ones in this government. But we picked good ones, but we had some bad ones in the last 4 years, the things that they did and the things they didn't do. Your son shouldn't have been there for long. That would have been so much easier to solve immediately instead of years later. And it should have never happened. October 7th, remember, would have never happened. So as we bow our heads in this beautiful day, once again, we have to trust our God because our God knows exactly where we're going, what we're doing, knows every inch of our life. And may He continue to hear our prayers, to guide our steps, and build up our beloved nation to even greater heights. We're in the process of doing some great things. I get criticized no matter what, but I just go forward because everyone knows we're right. All we're doing is what they've done to us for 40 years, but we're doing it bigger and better. That's the only thing we're doing. And now I'd like to ask